Hi friends, this is lesson 14-2, which is more line plots. We talked about line plots in 14-1. We're going to be working on those a little bit more. So here I have, does anyone remember what this was called? It has information or data on it. If you said table, you are correct. This is a table. This table is student feet in inches. I'm going to correct this because I see an error here. Students. So some students measured their feet, how long they were. And so these numbers here tell me the inches of all of the students who measured their feet. So now I'm going to use this information and put it on a line plot. I'm going to plot it on a line. So I have all these here and I need to put numbers on them. So I'm going to start from 0, but what do I count up to? I mean, I know it already has lines here for me, but what do I need to count up to? If I take a look here at these numbers, what number should I go up to? Should I stop at 5, 20? How do I know where to stop? Well, I can look and see what the biggest number here is. What's the biggest number here? It's 12. So I know that I need to have at least 12 lines. So I'm going to start from 0 and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I'm just going to start plotting these numbers. So I have a 12, 9, 8, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11. So notice when I had more than 1 on the same number, I just continued to put those dots right on top of each other. And now I can look at this line and I can quickly identify some information about these students and their feet. So we're going to answer some questions right now. I'm going to move this up so we can still see it and then answer some questions. Okay. What is the longest foot size? Well, looking at this, I'm not really sure because all of these numbers are all mixed up. But when I look at this line plot, I can see quickly that 12 is the biggest. So what is the longest foot size here? It was 12 inches. What is the shortest foot size? Again, I can quickly see that it is 8. I'm going to put IN because this can be an abbreviation, a short way to write inches, and that's okay if you want to write that. The last question says, what is the difference between the largest and the smallest foot size? Well, first I need to know, what does difference mean in math? When we talk about the difference, what does that mean? Hopefully what comes to mind is subtraction, because difference is the answer in subtraction. So I know I'm going to have some subtraction equation. Let me move that back into. I know I'm going to have some subtraction equation. So what is the difference? Difference means subtract, between the largest and the smallest foot size. Well, we already said the largest is 12. We know we're going to subtract, and the smallest was 8. So now I need to know, what is 12 minus 8? 4. 4 inches. Okay. Let's take a look at a few more. This one, oh, now some students measured their hand. And this is student's hand in centimeters. Centimeters is another unit of measurement, and I talked about this in our first lesson. So here on this side, it says cm, that's the abbreviation for centimeters. And again, that is a different unit of measurement. So this is students' hands measured in centimeters. Here is my line, and I'm gonna plot these numbers. Again, how do I know where to stop? I'm gonna look for the biggest number. What is the biggest number you see here on in my table? It's 17, but I don't technically have to start from 0 like I did before. Remember here, I started from 0 and I went all the way up to 12. But the thing is, I didn't use any of these numbers. See how they're just empty? So I'm gonna do something else. And this is a choice you can make. I'm going to look for the smallest number and the biggest number, and those are the ones I'm gonna put on my line. So let's see, we already said the biggest is 17, and the smallest, what do you think the smallest is? 10. So I'm gonna start from 10 and I'm gonna go up to 17. So I'm just gonna count out loud to myself. This is gonna be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't need 0 through 9 because I'm not even going to use it. They're not up here. So this is a choice that you can make. Okay, so not only do I need to have on here the numbers, but I'm also going to give it a title, this line here. And the title is same as the title in the table. Students' hands in centimeters. Ooh, I need to make sure that I have enough room to put my dots. So I'm just gonna put CM because remember I said that was an abbreviation. Let me move that over so you can see it. Students' hands in centimeters. Down here, what are these? These are the number of centimeters. Okay, so I also need to label this. So if someone looks at it, they know what they're looking at. So this is students' hands in centimeters. And down here, these numbers are the numbers of centimeters. So let's go ahead and start plotting these numbers. I have an 11, 14, 17, 14, 12, 10, 11, 14, 12, 14, 17, 17. Okay, and there I have now plotted all of those numbers on my line here. All right, we're gonna answer some questions now. Make sure we can see everything. Okay, there we go. What is the longest hand size? Again, this hard to tell because all the numbers are out of order. Here, easy to tell because I have plotted these. So I have these circles. All I have to do is look at my circles or my dots and I see 14, I'm sorry. What is the longest hand size? I apologize. I see that 17 is the longest. 17 centimeters. What is the shortest hand size? All the way down here, 10 centimeters. What is the difference between the longest and shortest hand size. Okay, here again, we have the longest and the shortest right here. What did we say difference tells us to do? Hopefully you're thinking subtraction. So the difference between the longest and the shortest. 17 minus 10. Do some mental math. What'd you come up with? Hopefully 7 centimeters. I know that because 17 minus 10 equals 7. I'm just going to ask some other quick questions. What was the most common hand size? The most common. That means the one that we see the most, the same number we see the most. 14. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on it. Yeah, good. Okay, well, this is what you're going to be doing in your lesson 14-2.